Hey everyone, I got a quick, but I think it'll be kind of interesting video today, talking about my orchid terrarium. Pardon the really dirty glass, but this is a modified IKEA cabinet, and I just want to show you some of the cool plants I have inside. Everything that's not moss or a fern is an orchid. So all of these are classified as kind of miniature orchids. Of course, mini can vary in how mini something is. For example, over here, I have a Speclinia morganii, and there's my fingernail, and you can see just how tiny those leaves are. Here's some moss growing alongside of it. And so all this moss is grown from, I guess you can call them spores. There's a product called Moss Mix that I use to get all of these different types of moss and these ferns as well. So what do I have in this tank? I have Masdevallias. So here's a Masdevallia, not in flower yet, but here's one in bud. You can see this is Masdevallia andretiana, formerly Masdevallia, but now it's Diodinopsis Erinacea. Really cool looking, funky looking flowers, really. And so to light this thing, I have just 2 aquarium lights up there. They're really cheap. They're like $14, I think, on Amazon per light, and they last quite a while. These ones haven't burnt out on me yet. Here's another Masdevallia I have. This is Wagneriana. You can see it's kind of attached to this stuff. This is called, I believe it's called Hygrolawn, but you can see it's actually rooting in there now. And I just mounted it by shoving a toothpick in there. So beside it here, I have a Lepanthes. This one is Lepanthes terpsichore. It's just a keiki from a plant in my tent. So moving along the back here, I have more Lepanthes. This was an recent import, so it's still not fully recovered. So no flowers yet. This one here is Escoberiana. Also a recent import that's recovering. I don't quite recall the name on that one either. Here I have Lepanthes gargoyla. Not quite open yet, but maybe give it 2 days and this will be open. Everybody's favorite, I guess. Here's Lepanthes telebagoniflora. Again, just about to open. Big red flowers. Lepanthes regularis here. There's a flower right there. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. There. And then I have, this is Lepanthes pubescens. Again, almost in bloom. Another Masdevallia here. This one is Decumana. It has really big showy flowers, and this one's in bud. There's 2. And then on this wall here, I got a bunch more Lepanthes. This is supposedly clary, but I think it's not quite correct. You can't really tell by the photo, but it's what's been circulating the hobby as Lepanthes clary, but potentially not really correct. There's Lepanthes fimbriata. This is Lepanthes minetii, not in bloom. This little circle leaf there is Pleurathalis dressleri. Another really tiny leafed orchid. And then I have another Lepanthes regularis division right here at keiki. This plant here is Anathalis pachyphyta, and it has these really cute star-shaped flowers with black petals, black lip, and the rest of the flower is kind of a cream orange color. So moving on to this branch here, this is Trisatella hoigiri. So it has big white flowers when it blooms. This comes on and off every couple weeks or so. Here I have a Trisatella pantex, but this spike right here is actually triglochian. So I think when I purchased this plant, I got 2 species merged in one. I will be splitting them apart pretty soon. Another Lepanthes here. This is Lepanthes tentaculata. And this is a keiki division from the huge clump I have in my tent. Here's a funky one. This is Lepanthes rebes. I have a couple in the tent as well. You can see it's like a weird globular flower, and the petals inside are those two green horns. Some more Masdevallias down here. This one actually made a seed pod. This one's Masdevallia nidifica. I also have this in the tent. And the tent is a division of this, but I'm gonna try and sow the seed pod pretty soon, I think. But yeah, growing really well in here. Lower shade. Here's another keiki division of the clary, Lepanthes clary. It looks like it's falling out. I just put this in a couple of days ago, so I'm just gonna squeeze it in there. This is Pleurathalis niveoglobula. It's a keiki. That's why it's really small. This will get maybe like this big, maybe in like a couple months. Then I have more Lepanthes here. This is Lepanthes orchid. And then this is an either undescribed or un-ID'd Lepanthopsis species, purchased from Orchids, just as Lepanthopsis species Columbia. So I haven't really, it's bloomed twice for me, but I haven't really had the time or brain capacity to go looking up what it is. Oh, I do have one last plant in here. This is Platystelli. I think it's Platystelli aurea, but it's got these cool little yellow flowers. Oh, and another cool, this is also from Orchids, and another cool thing is, you see this right here, this leaf? This is growing out from that plant. But this is not the same plant. This is not a Platystelli. Or actually, I think it's Pleurathalis. It's one of the two. But anyways, this plant right here, this is actually Lepanthes. And it just kind of grew out of this plant. So either it came as a little hitchhiker, or there was a seed that somehow germinated on there. But really excited to see what Lepanthes that might be. Lepanthes is my favorite genus. And just to round off the rest of the plants before I say goodbye, this is Pleurathalopsis inequalis. I don't think it's loving it down here. It's kind of dark at the bottom of the tank, but nevertheless, it's growing. And yeah, still, you can see I still have a ton of real estate to put things. And almost all these things I have are miniature, so this whole branch is still open game. The whole bottom is pretty open too. Thinking of putting some South American jewel orchids down there, or maybe I'll just let the moss take over. But anyways, this whole wall is empty. This whole wall is empty. It might be harder to find something for here because I have a circulation fan right there. But anyways, that was just a quick look at some of the plants I got in here. Yeah, if you're interested in how I made this thing, let me know, and I can talk about the design and the workflow for how I built it. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.